treat.
7 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Ay, buen.
Mira,
Estamos cocinando.
Sí, oh, muy bien.
El
ahí
pan.
está, ya metió la torta todavía.
No, todavía no. Todavía no. Un ratito más. ¿Te sientes más a gusto en esa que en esta?
No sé, si quieres sentarse aquí. No,
No,
yo,
no, para ti.
yo bailo los
porque
dos.
para que no te moleste las sentaderas.
Sí, tener más movimiento, ¿no?
Pues estamos blandito ahí, más acolchonadito.
Pero si se sienta ahí, como ya solo tiene un poquito de trasero, se le va a desaparecer.
¿Cómo? Un poquito de
Entonces, si
trasero.
se
Tengo
sienta allá,
bastante trasero.
mira cómo salta, ¿verdad? Cómo salta.
Hablando de mi trasero, mamá.
Usted se sienta allá, no ve que se sienta así como decir el ejercicio, mira. Así, mira. Para que le ponga durito.
No, ya después si no te puedes levantar.
I know, I think that's a good
Te escuchamos
idea.
como la carretilla.
Pero así, mira.
Okay, let's go take a rest.
Para que se levante, para que pueda levantarse. ¿No está mejor así?
Sí, tiene razón.
Ah, ¿ves? Porque ya está muy duro.
Cierto.
Pero
Te va a doler
pero
más.
como
Hombre,
te
no,
digo,
ya.
por la posición de él endurecer como, para que quede como señorito.
Miró la mavanga que ella tiene ahí.
Ah, no la has visto, ¿verdad?
Es una buena vegetal.
So what are your thoughts for the next few years in terms of
Beer.
I know.
No, I have a couple of projects I want to finish. I want to finish the second volume of that Hundreds Behind the Colors, and then I want to do this art book, which I've done quite a bit of. It's
good.
Like it's going to be an art book, and then I got to hustle the financing. I figured about GoFundMe, but I want to do it really. That's got to be really well done. I got to get good Photoshop and make sure the paintings are all first
I wonder
class.
if there's something we could all pitch in on to accomplish. I wonder if if we could pitch in on it, like my kids or
Maybe
Laura,
we can
for
figure out. Yeah,
instance,
we can probably get some people to
and-
put
and-
together.
and
It doesn't have to
Arturo.
be a lot of copies, but
No.
I just want sort of a documented chronology. But what the way I want it is with anecdotes that reflect a time period when I did certain paintings, or an episode involving a painting or a art show, but stuff that's funny. Some of it's
Yes.
dramatic. I had one story I'll tell you that's really interesting. That when I was with Tina, we used to go eat at this Cuban restaurant in L.A. called El Colmao. And we used to fight all the time, arguments. But we were tight. We were really intense. We had an argument. We came back we were living in Venice, California, and I was going to have an art show in a gallery in Venice, which has a lot of galleries. And I had all these paintings in this apartment. I had about 25 paintings that I was going to put in this show. So we get back to the apartment, and it's an old Victorian house that was turned into 4 units.
Yes.
And there were 2 downstairs units and 2 upstairs, and we lived in one of the downstairs units. And we got back, we were arguing. All of a sudden, some guy breaks the window. Says, "Get out of there! That place is on fire!" Right?
Oh, gosh.
So I go to the door and open the door, and all the hair the whole other side of the building was already ablaze.
Oh, no.
All the hair just zoop off my arm. So I slammed the door. I said, "Grab Charlie," because my dad had just died. He had a dog named Charlie, which I
yes?
took. So Tina grabbed Charlie, and so we took off, and I grabbed my manuscript. I was working on the Velázquez biography. I had the machote. It was all finished, the first draft of it. So I grabbed that, and we hauled ass across the street, and we got over to the other side of the street. There were a lot of people watching the fire. I said, "Shit, my paintings, man." So I run back, and Tina says, "Don't go back in there." I said, "No, I gotta get my paintings out of there." So I go into the backyard,
Yes.
and there's the guy that lived in one of the upstairs was a photographer, and he had a hose. He's trying to put the fire out to save his photography. I said, "Hey man, wet me down. I'm going to go in and get my paintings." It wasn't burning on our side yet,
Oh,
but it was there, right?
It was coming there.
So he wetted me down, and just as I was going to go in, this little Mexican guy says, "Hey man, you want some help?" I says, "Yeah, man, really?" I says, "Yeah, what do you?" I says, "Just take the paintings. Everything else, just take the paintings off the wall and bring them up. We'll put them in that garage battle." So we go in, and this little guy, I didn't know him, right? So as soon as we get in there, and I do all these really crazy paintings at that time, dinosaurs and strange look. And the guy says, "Hey man, what about the TV?" I said, "Leave the TV. We don't know. Just the paintings." So we go back and forth and we get the paintings out. Every time we went in, the TV. I said, "No, just the paintings." So we finally get out. I said, "You can have the TV, man. It's yours. Thanks a million." And as we were going out the last time, the fire department came and threw us out. They said, "Get out of here." And by that time, the whole place was sponged with water.
Oh my gosh.
But the interesting thing was when I ran out with that manuscript, and I didn't have a copy of it.
Yes.
About half of it was in the driveway. It slipped out of the folder.
Oh,
So
no.
this fireman came up to me and said, "Is this important?" And only about 7 of the pages were wet. So I saved about 150 pages of my manuscript. And
Oh my gosh.
but anyway,
really?
but it was a while. But that's kind of an anecdote.
Oh gosh. What
And then
an experience.
when I did the art show, but I had to wait 2 months later after I. But
Oh my
there are a lot of little
gosh.
stories. That,
Oh yeah. Well, I could never match that story. Gosh.
But that guy was so cool. The paint, I said, "The TV, man." I said, "No."
Gosh. And were those of this style of painting?
They were more. They were kind of like those dark. I had some. They were a lot. No, they weren't this style.
Oh, no.
They were different.
Oh really?
I did a lot of paintings. I started out with kind of black backgrounds and dark backgrounds. Kind of some. Yeah, they're all in those postcards I put in there for you guys.
Oh good.
But yeah, it was a whole different phase of paintings, and then everything sort of evolved into more light and more color and more. But it was fun. And then Jeb and I went. One time I came back from Belize. After a trip, I wrote an article about Belize, and Tina and I were arguing again. And she says, "I'm leaving. I just got out of the airport. I've been down there 2 weeks riding around." She says, "I'm out. I've had enough of this." She says, "All I want to do is be with my piano." I said, "What? I just got off the fucking airplane, man. What?" She says, "I'm leaving." And so we go back. We were in that apartment, right? So we go back to the apartment, and I had Brown then. And so I said, and that just pissed me off so bad. I couldn't believe it. She laid that on me. So I just took Brown and left. I got into a motel, and then I went to my mom's place. And 2 weeks later, I had an art show set up in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh really?
And Jeb was going to spend the whole summer with me, and he was coming down. And I was like shell-shocked, because, we've been together a long time. She wanted to be with her piano. Okay, so Jeb comes down. I loaded 24 paintings into a Corvair, and Jeb and I drove to Santa Fe. We went to saw my brother in Phoenix. And I had an art show at a place called the Beva Cafe in Phoenix and Santa Fe.
Oh really?
And it was great. But I was going through this whole sort of trauma of separation. And then we ended up getting back together and coming down here again. And all. It happened a lot of times. But that was a great trip.
Oh,
and
gosh.
Jeb started doing these Kachina doll paintings, which I have.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was only about 6 or 7 years old. Really talented.
Does he still paint himself?
He still,
or draw?
he can. He doesn't know. He doesn't paint. He does musical, sets up musical things. He built in one event in Philly. He built some machine that they came in on the railroad. He wrote a story about the railroad track, the railroad history in Philly, and the tracks come into Philadelphia, and he built one of those things that you hand pump.
Oh did he?
But it was all made out of music. There were musical instruments. When you get there, you take the thing apart, and then they did a jazz session up in the place where they had this whole historical, the whole history of the railroad in that
Is
area.
that right? Gosh.
But it was he put that thing together, and they dismantled it and then played music.
Gosh.
No, the guy's kind of a genius, in a way, but eclectic. Guy can write and everything. But no, Jeb has always been.
That was such a touching New Year's
Oh yeah, that
letter.
Father's Day thing.
Father's Day. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, Father's Day note from him.
No, Jeb had some.
I wish
I
he
remember
could
when
meet
El-
I
huh?
would like him to meet my son Dylan.
Yeah,
They would hit it
that'd
off.
be cool if they could get together.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, because that's close.
Well,
Well,
it'd
in
be
New Orleans
and-
now. Now he's in
yeah,
New Orleans.
in New
But
York City.
yeah, that'd be cool.
And meet my daughters also, Laura. and
Yeah, well, it'd be
Martha.
good to get that family thing
Yeah, yeah.
generated. Well,
Yes.
it's generated now.
Yes. That's right.
I tried to call my brother a couple of times since you've been here, but he didn't pick up the phone. So I called my cousin. And he hasn't talked to him, but
Oh, really? Oh.
Sterling has talked to him. Sterling was a good friend of his. This
Oh,
guy
really?
that has the painting. So
Great.
but that's a long. I don't know. My brother's always has some sort of a built-in melancholy,
Oh, I'm sorry about
and,
that.
but I still think, man, this is a process. If you can get on the sunny side of it,
Yeah, exactly.
you turn it into a gift, a gift. Because
That's right. It has
I've
to be
been
done
there,
a
man.
little by little, and just taking small steps, and
Yeah,
and then seeing where they lead. But
because he's a good guy. I mean, he's one of the most compassionate, but he's very volatile, emotional, and I remember before my mom died, you know, she told me several times, you can't save Chris, and I didn't know what else she was talking about.
oh,
And I thought, I don't save Chris. I mean, I knew he's had some problems, but so I don't know. I'm still optimistic.
well, let me know how I should intercede or participate,
Yeah.
if I can.
He said he knew. He said he could tell right away when he talked to him. It was like talking
Yeah,
to you
yeah,
as a kid,
I
and I
know.
know what he means.
Yeah, well, yeah, and me, it's reciprocal.
Yeah.
And
That's-
your voice hasn't changed either.
I remember one story about Jeb that was really funny when Elvis Presley died, because I used to do Elvis Presley imitations in junior high school.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was a singer. I was a
Oh, I know.
yeah. But when he died, we were driving around. It was August. I can't remember the year. And the radio comes on, and Jeb was about three and a half, already, like that. And they said, Elvis Presley died, and I pulled off the road. He said, "What's the matter, Pop?" I said, "Elvis Presley died." He said, "Who's Elvis Presley?" So I told him he was this famous singer and everything. And so next week or so, they were playing Elvis songs all the time
Oh,
on
sure.
the radio.
Yes.
So we were driving back from Isla Vista after a swap meet, and Elvis was singing "My Way." And so the announcer says, "And that was the king, Elvis Presley, doing My Way." And Jim goes, "Papa?" I said, "What? Elvis is dead, right?" I says, "Yeah, he's dead." "Papa, I think he's getting better." He's thinking he's got to be
Oh,
alive.
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's true.
It was so funny, though.
That's-
He was
that
just a
is
little
funny.
kid.
Gosh,
I think he's getting better.
gosh. So, well, that's so relaxing here. Gosh.
But Dylan, is Dylan into sports, or is he?
Yeah, he likes sports.
Yeah.
He played tennis, and he was good at surfing and.
Oh, really?
But he's mainly, and he's certified for scuba diving,
Oh, cool.
and so are Laura and Martha. Actually, I got them all into it.
Oh, cool.
And
It's really ironic though that you married Martha.
yes,
I mean, the Martha thing stood out right. Wow, man.
yeah, it's been great.
I'll tell you one thing. She's really ready for anything.
She is. She
That's-
really is. Yeah.
What a great connection you guys.
I
made.
know, yeah, it's very lucky. Yeah, she's very.
That's the thing about like, at any moment, everything can change. I mean, we're a moment away from a lot of things,
Oh yeah,
for good or ill. But that keeps the game. I don't know, energized.
it does. It really does. You're right.
I mean, just a word or a gesture, or I mean, I've noticed like even in movies, like I've seen bad movies where there'd be one good scene in it that made the movie incredible to me.
Yeah, that's.
You know, I
pretty
mean, just
impressive.
or something. I remember the movie. I forget what it was called, Scarecrow. I think it was with Gene Hackman and Al Pacino. And they just get out of prison and they come down this hill and they start hitchhiking together, and they both have plans now that they're out of jail. Did you ever see that?
I did a long time. Yes.
But there's a conversation they have in a diner that I never forgot. It was, I think it's Gene Hackman wants to start a car wash. I mean, that's his dream. And Al Pacino wants to go back and resolve some kind of a marital thing before he went to prison. But that conversation with the interaction with the waitress in there is so
Oh, really?
real.
Is that right?
I don't know,
I'm
and
gonna
it's
go
a
back and
mundane